Okay, yeah, I understand, man. We're on borrowed time. The Eagles are on borrowed time, but we are in the playoffs, baby. And that's all I'm worried about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is a learning experience for this team.
Yeah, we didn't
We
see
did
this.
not
I
think
did
we were
not
going to
see
be
it
there.
coming. Even
No,
you, did you think we
no,
were going to be in the playoffs?
no.
I know you said 9 wins,
But I
but
did not know we were going to be in the playoffs. There
yeah.
was no way I would have thought we were going to be in the playoffs.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2 of the Victory Monday edition of The Middle. Barrett Brooks and Harry Mayes. Smash that like button on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Hit the notifications, all that good things. And we're going to be closing in. We are closing in on 10,000. We got to hit that this week. This is a big week.
Huge week.
It's Dallas week. Whether it's Gardner Minshew or not, it's still going to be a cool week with Dallas coming in and the playoffs a lock for the next week. It depends on who we play. Most likely, I guess it will be Los Angeles, but it could be Tampa. And, there's still some of these Dallas fans still holding out hope that it could be Dallas because Dallas mathematically still, I guess, has a chance to move back up to the 2 seed. But that's not going to happen because I don't see both Los Angeles or Tampa losing their finales against either San Francisco or Carolina, respectively. But we got to get into what happened on the post-game show with you, Barrett. And I also want to get back into, remember, you and I were talking, and you actually came up with the verbiage for it, and I totally agree. You said way back about 6-7 weeks ago, maybe it was even further back than that, when Jonathan Gannon doesn't really respect the quarterback that he's going up against, he plays his defense differently.
He plays him more aggressive. Yep.
Yes, and it played out that way. I mean, you were exactly right. So I want to get into like what you think he might do against now in the playoffs against like a Stafford, a rematch against Brady, which we saw the way he played, Brady on that Thursday night game at the Link a couple of months ago. So I want to get into that after we find out what went down on the post-game show with you and Seth and Ray Diddy yesterday. What was it like watching that game when they fell down 10-0?
Well, I mean, of course, everybody was fit to be tied, man, and inside the newsroom. We're looking at this game like, what are we doing? Here we go again. Here we go again. And then you got Ray over there. Reality check. You see, Look at it. They're doing it. We all see it. They're just going off. And I'm sitting back like, I cannot believe we are going through this right now. We're going to let them get up 10-0 again. And lo and behold, what happens? So during that whole time, we're sitting there watching the game. I was still in a point where there was no way we were going to lose the game. I knew that.
Right.
No way we're going to lose the game. But then we come out in the second half and we start doing what we're supposed to do. And I'm good with that. But I'm still seeing traits from Gannon, which is really pissing me off because we're not aggressive. He didn't get aggressive until towards the end of the mid-fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Then he really started sending blitzes. And then he stopped again. I don't understand it because when you're playing against these upper echelon quarterbacks, you cannot sit back and allow them to pick you apart. And that's exactly what he's going to do. If you play back and you play in a defense in which is so vanilla that wherever a guy lines up, that's where he ends up, then it's already a read that, all right, I know where I'm going to go with the ball before the ball's even snapped. And that's a problem because you can't do it. So that means the chains are going to keep moving. You're not going to be aggressive enough. You don't give the defensive line enough of a chance to rush the passer. And that's the problem right there. I mean, yes, we have a pretty good defensive line, but it's all for naught if you don't give him an opportunity to rush the passer because the quarterback knows where the ball is going, so he's going to get the ball out of his hands in less than 2 seconds. It's going to take that long for the defensive line to get there. And that's where lies the problem.
Right.
We don't send enough. So I was talking to Seth about why is it that we don't, blitz a lot. And I'm looking at the DBs. I think we have some pretty good DBs. I think the secondary is okay. I think they can cover the slot with Avante, both corners, Nelson and Slay, both safeties, Harris, McLeod. Those guys are okay. I'm like, where is the disconnect at? And he finally, broke down where he thinks the disconnect is. And I tend to agree with him. At the linebacker position, when you blitz, you got to have guys in the middle of your defense that can cover also. And TJ Edwards, although he's been great at stopping the run and being that guy that's the hammer, his covering abilities aren't that good. So you have to make sure that you put him in a position to be successful. And that means you can't blitz a lot because you don't want him covering a lot.
Okay.
So Singleton, he could probably, cover a little better, but still, when you don't have that solid interior of your defense, it's hard to go out there and be really aggressive. So I kind of see where, the dilemma that Gannon's in, but it still doesn't change the fact that you got to do something. You can't sit back and play vanilla defense like that, or else we're going to lose games from the start. So and I did see Boom, was it Boom something 7-5 or whatever his name is?
Boom Bap,
yeah. Well, I got to look up exactly what he said, but he's like, okay, yeah, I understand, man. We're on borrowed time. The Eagles are on borrowed time, but we are in the playoffs, baby. And that's all I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? This is a learning experience for this team.
Yeah, we didn't see this. I did not see it coming. No. Even you, did you think we were going to be in the playoffs?
No.
I know you said 9 wins.
But I did not know we were going to be in the playoffs. There was no way I would have thought we were going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
Even with the extra game. Because this is a learning, this was a learning year. And what this is teaching this young team, that they are good enough to take that next step. That they just sped up their maturation of being a team that could be a contender in this division now.
Right.
Now, people don't understand what Dallas is on the way down now. They're up right now, but at the end of this season, they're going to be on their way down because, number one, they can't pay people now. That salary cap right now, they're at the very end. They're barely squeaking by with that salary cap. They paid the quarterback. They paid the running back. They paid the receivers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They pay the defensive guy. They still got to pay Van Der Esch. They got to pay a whole lot of people right now.
Right.
So this is the decline. This is exactly what happened to Seattle. Seattle, when Russell Wilson was on his rookie contract, is when they were their best team because they went out and paid the defense as opposed to playing the offense because he was so good.
Right.
So you didn't have to, allot that money anywhere. Well, Dallas has a lot that money now.
And he was also, a 3rd-round pick.
Right.
So
his salary was nothing.
Yeah.
The Eagles are in that same position right now with Jalen Hurts, 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, that's
young guys that they drafted that are playing well. These are guys that they draft. These aren't free agents that they brought in. These are young guys being molded in the Philadelphia Eagle way at a young age that they drafted.
Yeah, you just got to hope Dickerson can stay healthy though, because his history is not good.
Not good at
all.
all.
If you go back and look at it, I mean, from high school to when he played at Florida State, a lot of people forget he was at Florida State first for a couple of years. He actually graduated from Florida State and then went to Alabama.
Right.
And he was hurt at Florida State, then he was hurt at Alabama. So it's like he gets hurt, pretty much everywhere. So
you know why, Harry? You know why?
Why?
When you play a physical game like that, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Physicality breeds injuries, man. He's just a physical dominating player.
Yeah.
And when you play that aggressive, you're gonna get hurt, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
So this is the nature of the beast.
Did you see this tweet from Paul Hembekitis at Paul Hembo? He's the stat guru for ESPN. He's got some good stuff. He says the most dead money this season. The Lions had $66 million in dead money. They finished, or they're 2-13-1 right now. They're not finished, but they're 2-13-1. The second highest, the Eagles, $64 million in dead money, which includes $34 million for Carson Wentz.
Yes.
Finished, or they're at 9-7, even with all that dead money. Then it was the Panthers at $53 million and the Texans at $49 million. And both of those teams are well under 500. So for the Eagles to make the playoffs in a rebuild year with Wentz as their highest paid player is a remarkable achievement. $34 million allotted for Carson Wentz. That's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. That's what I'm saying. Right now, this team is learning how to be good. Now, I'm not going to say it's fool's gold because it's not fool's gold because this is foundation that they're building right now. They have defined what their Eagles football is. That's what a lot of teams don't have a definition of who they are, because at this point, they're not very good. The Eagles have shown the capacity to be a good team, even with the young players that they have. They have the youngest wide receiver core probably out of everybody right now. The elder statesman.
Yeah, and they still need more there.
Right.
They need more.
But you can bring in a veteran now,
right,
to teach these young guys, because you already have the young foundation there.
All right, now Jeremiah Butler gives a super chat up here.
There we go.
And we appreciate that. He says, still working on an ah-da-da from Ray.
You see me pushing it? I'm pushing it, man.
Okay, so you were see, I didn't watch yesterday. I apologize. I didn't watch.
We pushed it again. I even got Seth and Mike trying to help me out, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. I got them trying to help me out too.
Now, did Seth officially do an ah-da-da?
Yes. He did.
Was that yesterday?
Yes. And after he finished his statement, and he looked at me and said, ah-da-da.
Is that right?
Like, there we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, were you sitting over in your little seat
yes,
across the
man.
room when that happened? Oh,
they got the baby in the corner again, bro.
Oh,
what are we doing?
That is just
what are we doing?
That's terrible. Oh man.
All right, captain, man. My captain, man. He's, watches all the time, man. Tony, man. He said, bro, why do you have a baby in the corner? I said, I don't know, man. It's kind of disheartening, man.
It's just not right.
You're the MFC. What do you mean? You're the MFC, the mother effing captain. You cannot be over there. You got your own boat. You're the captain of your boat. You can't be in the corner anymore.
Right.
Get me all fired up, man, and I still got to be in the corner, man.
See, they should just have all the three of you at satellite spots like that, and then have Barkan like kind of in the middle, just shouting at everybody, and pointing to people.
But you know why they put me over there? Because they feel as though because I know TV a little better than Seth does, and I definitely know more TV than Ray. That's why they can put me over there, because they know I know how to, conduct myself. I know how to, get to breaks, or they can come to me, and I know how to, really be the guy that they can look to, if something happens.
Now, if I brought on Mike Mulhern right now, or Amy Fadul, would they agree with what you just said?
Yes, they would.
Yes,
they would.
Right.
That's why they put me over there. That's why at the desk. That's why they put me over next to Mike in between Ray, because my camera is awkward. They know that I know how to go to my camera.
Okay.
If Ray had to go to another camera that's not in front of him,
he
just wouldn't look at the camera. Period.
Is that right? He'd just look at his notes.
Yeah, he would never look up then. You know what I mean? If he has to do something extra, he's not doing anything extra.
Right.
If it doesn't have anything to do with his notes, or if you look at him like little things you can see from Ray, when you're watching our pregame show or our postgame show, when he takes his pen and does this on the desk, that means he wants to talk.
Oh, okay.
That's why everybody will stop what we're saying and we'll get to Ray.
I got you.
That's what he does that. You know what I'm saying? Just little things that he does.
All right.
Or he'll go like this. He'll go like this.
And
that means he's got something to say. You know what I mean? You got to pick up cues from him.
Little cues.
He won't say anything. Yeah, he won't say anything.
All right. Now, Joe Whip says Barrett needs to upgrade his wardrobe to get on the main table.
No. No, my gear is tight, bro.
What is that? What is that all about?
See, I'm not a suit guy. See, Seth is the suit. I call him the old man suits. He likes to go suited to boot. I got to give him more flashy jeans, shirt, because you see those guys, they went into wearing ties. Now I'm not wearing a tie.
No.
This is an energetic show. I don't want to go in looking like the old man. So I want to look trendy. You know what I mean? That's why I have to watch. Like yesterday, I had on a jean. It was like a jean suit jacket with pink in it, with a pink shirt, with a my little whatever you call a little napkin, the tablecloth, or where it is.
Tablecloth. Yeah, let's go with tablecloth.
But when my handkerchief, it was pink, man. Then I had an iridescent pink watch on with iridescent shoes. My sneakers were iridescent. You know what I'm saying?
So they
just
matched
to bring the whole look together.
They all matched.
You got to, man. You got to give what they come to see, man. You got to give them what they come to see. That's what Seth is. Seth is the suit guy. Me, I have to look a little more trendy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm with you.
Just a little bit more trendy.
All right, now what do you think? How do you think Gannon would treat a quarterback like Stafford in that matchup? As far as like how aggressive would you think he'd be?
He would have to be more aggressive, man, because if he doesn't, can you imagine him having Odell and what's the other guy's name? Why do I keep forgetting his name?
Cooper Cup.
Oh, Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
Imagine having Cooper Cup and Odell running around free like that. I mean, that's tough, man. You gotta make him make a decision quick. You know what I mean? Or at least delay it a second that your pass rush can get there. You can't allow him to go out there and pick you apart. And he will pick you apart if you let him. And there lies the problem. The Rams have a good defense, but their offense is what's going to make them win games. Their defense has been okay. Their offense is the reason why they've won 10 games. And, past, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they've stepped it up. They were trash for they went through like a 5-game stretch where they were trash, but they're back now, They have a tight end that's pretty good.
Von Miller made a big play yesterday to seal that game.
Yeah.
Finally stepped up and made something happen.
And he has really done nothing
against Huntley.
Actually.
No, he really hasn't. He's kind of been a no-show for them since he got there, but
they did get Cam Akers back also.
Yeah, they did. That's big.
And that's a major
I remember
factor.
when he went down in the summer. We were like, man, that is a huge loss, and it was.
Exactly.
They got they went out and got Sony Michel.
Yep.
He's done a decent job for them, but getting Cam Akers back is big. No doubt about it.
And then, that's going to open up for Tyler Higbee in the middle of the field now.
Yeah.
Especially with the two receivers on the outside. Yeah. He's pretty good too.
He is good.
So, Van Jefferson, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Odell. They're pretty good. And then the offensive line is pretty good also. That old man over there, left tackle, Whitworth.
Oh, he's been in the league for how long, man? Like 20 years almost.
20, something like that. Yeah. He spent most of it in Cincinnati. So, he wasn't in the playoffs too much. So, he got a little more rest than most offensive linemen. But, yeah, he's good, man. He's really good, man. So, I'm looking forward to seeing if we did play him. You got smaller linebackers and a smaller defensive line. Like, Aaron Donald's only like 270. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just wreaks havoc, though,
He's unbelievable.
He is. Von Miller, he's a little guy also, like 240. Leonard Floyd, 240. Those are small as far as defensive ends / pass rushers. And when you get guys that are, 6'8", 380 pounds coming off the ball, the laws of physics tend to go in your favor because you can press those guys off the ball. You just got to run the ball. Don't get caught up in the, you got to, play catch up because now you're throwing the ball. And you don't want to throw the ball against that defense. You want to run the ball consistently. Make them get off the ground every single play. It's harder to stop the run than it is to stop the pass. You can pass rush, those guys can get up the field, they can do that all day.
Right.
But when you're battling double teams and guys, over 300 pounds leaning on you, it takes a toll from you on the defensive side. It really takes a toll on you.
I like that Troy Reeder, the linebacker. It's good. He's good too.
Yes. He's very good. Yeah, now, he can run too.
What do you think they do, the Rams, defensively on Devontae Smith? Is that a Jalen Ramsey wherever he goes kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They want to take him out the game. They want to make everybody else beat them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you'll take your chances. Like if Jalen Reagor steps up and has the game of his life, you'll live with that.
All day.
Right.
All day. But I think, I don't know how they're going to defend Dallas Goedert. I mean, who do they have that can really defend Dallas Goedert? They don't have a linebacker that can run with him. Everybody else is too small. In fact, I think they'll switch off, with Smith and with Smith and have have him on Smith, or they might have him on Goddard also. Trying to stop him and equalize him because he can be a focal point. He can keep those chains moving. And at this point, I do see Hurts having a lot of he has a lot of trust in Goddard's ability to get open and catch the tough catches.
Yeah, they're starting to really sort of develop a chemistry now between the two of them, which did not exist in the first couple of weeks of the season.
And you couldn't because you had, another tight end there.
We also had Ertz, for the first couple of weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I need for the Eagles to also have their other tight ends step up a little bit also, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't use them enough. His name Jake Stoll. He's shown the ability. Even though he's a rookie, he doesn't play like a rookie. I like his game, and and Tyree Jackson.
Yeah,
I need a little more production out of him too. I mean,
but you can't expect anything out of him in a playoff game.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, but you can't expect anything out of him yet. Can you?
We're gonna need somebody else.
Yeah,
they gotta run. They gotta run a little. 12 personnel, 13 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends. They need to run out a little bit, and those guys need to step up. He's 6'7", 250 pounds. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's get him the rock, man. Get him the ball.
He still didn't have
a catch.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I don't think he has a catch.
I think he has a target or two though.
Yes, he dropped a real tough catch last week.
Yeah, right.
You can't drop those opportunities, man. I need, Jake Stoll and Tyree Jackson to really step it up.
I don't know, man. I'm not expecting anything about that from them. I'll tell you that right now. I know that it'd be nice, but I'm not expecting it.
I want to know, is Miles Sanders going to be back? Because I know they didn't put him on IR.
No, they didn't put him on IR. He'll be back. I think
he needs to be back.
Yeah.
Use the other hand. I remember I played with Deuce. Deuce broke his hand, and he was able to play the next game.
Right.
He just carried it to the other hand. He can't switch it off.
Now, did you see any of these quotes from the Dallas Cowboys about the officiating yesterday in the game against Arizona?
No, I can't say that I looked into anything they were doing.
Yeah. There's some quotes here. C.D. Lamb said, we couldn't get a rhythm. The refs wouldn't let us get a rhythm, end quote.
Wow.
All right. DeMarcus Lawrence says, quote, I'm going to let the NFL handle that. I know it's a possibility we see both of these teams in the playoffs, meaning the Arizona Cardinals and the same officiating crew.
Wow.
Hopefully the NFL, he says, hopefully the NFL can sit down with their team, review the film, learn from their mistakes, and get better from it. How about that?
Wow. That's bold, isn't it?
Yeah. It says here it was the 4th time this season the Cowboys have had double-digit penalties, and the most they've had since a 14-penalty, 166-yard day against the Raiders. Remember that on Thanksgiving? That god-awful
that was the
game?
worst. Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
That was the worst. They had a drive that had like 5 in a row, didn't it? It was like four penalties in a row, didn't it?
Yeah, that was Sean Hocules' crew. Leighton Vander Esch says, if you look around the league, this isn't just the first time it's happened. There's other games around the league that have been dictated by, I don't know if it's incompetence or what it is. Man, they are trashing the officials.
Now, they're going to get fined for that too. You know that,
You
right?
would think so, right?
No, they're going to get fined for that. There's no way that you can't get fined for that. You got to get fined for that.
Even Jerry Jones, he was looking at it's.
He'll probably pay their fines because you can't talk about the refs like that, man.
The ref was Novak, was the last name. That was his crew. Jerry Jones expected there to be flags once he saw it was Novak's crew, but he was not critical of the officiating as he was after the Raiders loss. Evidently, this Novak, his crew averages 8.2 penalties per game, which is the second highest. Second highest. I think it's total.
Wow.
Second highest to Carl Sheffer's crew, who's 8.3. This is according to ESPN stats. And Jerry was quoted as saying, this group calls a lot of ticky-tack. You hear that? He calls them ticky-tack. I love that.
Man, you can call a holding penalty. You can call something on every single play, man, but you want to have the flow of the game.
Right.
Now,
notice how those bowl games, there weren't a lot of penalties?
Exactly. They let them play.
Yeah, they did let them play because it's happening, periodically. Randy, oh my God, excuse me. Randy Gregory says, playing against the refs again, like usual. It seems like an every week occurrence, end quote.
That's America's team. They lost. So they're a little pissed off because they lost, man. That's
Man.
all it is. That's all it is.
Wow.
That's what happens.
I've never seen quotes like this coming from players, though.
Me neither. Not that many players at that.
No.
Usually it's one stupid player that'll do it. But
Right.
Dallas has a bunch of stupid players that say it.
No.
You usually can't get away with that.
Dak Prescott says, quote, yeah, we will play against whoever. We'll play against 11 and the others if we have to, end quote.
Do they not understand that other refs and other officiating crews are looking at the same thing?
Yeah, he says, quote, I have become accustomed to it, honestly. I don't know if we ever got things that necessarily go our way, but we can't sit there and cry about it. You just got to go play the hand that you're dealt and try to overcome those things, and don't put yourselves in those situations, so we can do a better job of not putting ourselves in those situations and keep them out of the game, end quote. That's the quarterback.
Right. Bro,
Wow.
they're not a disciplined team in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
I
They got to
guess
look what
not.
they're first. I mean, the Eagles start out the same way. Remember, the Eagles were getting calls every.
Oh yeah, they were
play
led the
left
league
and
for the
right.
first 5 or 6 weeks of the season.
Exactly. And they didn't cry about it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't cry about it at all. It just comes with that just comes with the territory, man. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. You don't need to cry about it. You're just making more enemies for yourself.
I agree. I think you're putting more of a target on your back, aren't you?
Exactly. You definitely doing that. And that's what happens, man. You cannot think that you're gonna go through a game and talk about, talk crazy about the refs and not think they're gonna respond to it. So the next time you have that crew, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And that McCarthy, he's a whiny sack of shit, isn't he?
Oh, I can't stand him, man.
I can't either.
I can't stand him as a coach, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they won a Super Bowl in Green Bay in spite of him.
Exactly.
We know this now. We know this.
Aaron Rodgers might have 2 or more if it weren't for
Right.
McCarthy.
Right. That was unbelievable, man. The fact that he is so bad, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
even the clock management, like the way the Cardinals made him call a timeout during the end of the game, made him call a timeout because he had, they had a kicker on and the quarterback on, forced the timeout. Then at the end of the game, they couldn't challenge because they didn't have any more timeouts left, and it would have went in their favor if they would have challenged it.
Yep.
But they had already used all their timeouts. That's just him. That's his fault. He did that.
I agree. All right, we're going to take one last timeout. We'll be back with the final half hour. We still got to get into this Antonio Brown meltdown, and I still got to go over with you the New Year's Day stuff. What you did on New Year's. Did you watch all the bowl games? I thought the games on New Year's Day, aside from the night game, were very, very good.
Right.
But we'll get into all that and a whole lot more here on The Middle on a Victory Monday.